day, my fellow Wild Instincts followers. Oh, hold on a second. Jethro. He's out here coughing and barfing on the floor. I don't know if you can hear him. I don't know what's going on with that guy. Anyways, okay. Well, we are getting... Oh my God, I got to stop this. He won't stop coughing. Good day, everybody, and welcome to another Wild Instincts, where we are getting ready to get to the exciting part, actually. We're finally getting down to the purpose of this podcast, and that is to get into my adventures over in another country, working with these animals, and how it all applied to the training that I do today with dogs. And I know I've given you a little bit stuff up here and there of how these animals got trained, but now we're going to put it to the test. And we are actually going to get ready to fly over to Sri Lanka, where these animals have to be worked off leash in a jungle. So, yeah, but let's get there first, okay? All right. So, the day has come. You know, we've gotten the animals all used to being crated and driven around. Oh my God, I gotta stop this, dude. Good day, and welcome back to Wild Instincts, where things are about to get pretty crazy. So what did we discuss last? We had gotten through prep training. All of the animals got used to working around each other, traveling, being crated, being put in big transfer cages for the bigger animals. And, you know, the day's coming where we're getting ready to fly to another country. Now, on a personal note, I had to leave my kids behind. And the hardest one for me to leave behind was Mariah, because she was getting ready to start kindergarten. So it was a big decision for me, you know, to miss her first day of school ever. And I don't know. Like I said, it's very difficult to weigh one day that is very important in your child's life compared to what would end up being my lifelong career. And working on this movie did catapult me into a career. I was also seeking some independence away from my partner, Mariah's dad, my baby daddy. We weren't married, but we were together for 12 years. I was wanting to get away from, you know, relying on him so much, because there were some issues there. Anyways, not going to get into that right now. So, you know, I was excited. So we, you know, the day of reckoning came. We're getting all the animals loaded up, and we are convoying to LAX airport. So we get there in the morning, and we're unloading the animals. And of course, it's very chaotic, because, you know, not every day that an airport sees, you know, not to use the pun, but I'm going to, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. So it was very chaotic. And we were having to keep people away from, you know, the cages and the crates, because they were upsetting the animals. Now, at this point, my pit bull Tatanka, which I have written about in my book, she was my first pit bull. She's not being crated. She's just, you know, hanging out with me, because she was a great dog and very calm. Wasn't bothered by the animals at all. Just laid down while we were busy, you know, dealing with the other animals. But I knew she would soon have to be crated, and she hated it. She absolutely hated it. But the airline that we were flying on was called KLM. They were set up to fly cargo and passengers. And it was explained to me, because I was worried about Tatanka not wanting to be crated. It was explained to me that unlike most airplanes where everything goes underneath, this was different. half the plane was passengers, so there wasn't that many, obviously. The back half was all cargo. So KLM was known for flying to Europe and all these places with, live animals. I guess expensive racehorses went up in this plane. Just all kinds of stuff. So there would be a door that I could go from the cabin to the cargo area. We all could, so we could check on the animals. So we're getting things ready, and we're still at the cargo section of the airport. And I suddenly started to feel very nauseous. And then it got worse. And then it got worse. And next thing I know, I'm in the bathroom, dry heaving. Just dry heaving. But that was the only symptom I had. And I couldn't figure it out. And, and I sat in the bathroom for a minute with Tatanka, and then it was time to put her in a crate. So then my anxiety level went through the roof. But I walked back out to the cargo section, and by now, you can hear airplanes. It's loud there at the airport. And I started to get nauseous again. And it took me a little bit, but I figured it out. For some reason, the sound of the planes was just making me feel this way. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? I've never had a fear of flying. What's going on? But all of a sudden I got anxiety. So I powered through it, and we now have to get the animals out of the cargo room. Hold on one second here. I turned my air conditioning off. I mean, it is wintertime, right? And then I look down and I'm like, God, it's kind of hot in here. It's 77 degrees outside. So much for winter. Hold on. We want to get the air going here. I only have my air for like a minute. Okay. So we've had all the animals in the cargo room of the airport. So now we've got what they do is they then transfer the cages onto like a little, not a cart, kind of like a cart. And basically like a little convoy of animal cages and crates are then ushered out onto the tarmac. Let me tell you, it was really scary because people were just, gathering around trying to follow the animals. And I mean like airport employees. So at one point, as we're loading animals up into the airplane, one of the primary bear handler, I hear him yelling. And again, it's very loud on the tarmac. He's yelling. He's yelling to me, pointing. And I look over and I can see what he's freaking out over. And he couldn't leave what he's doing because he's loading one of the bears up. But apparently, one of the little go-kart things that brought out one of the bears, Bogey was the bear's name, they had positioned the cage on the tarmac, literally right next to the freaking engine of the plane. And the bear is losing his mind, spinning in circles in his cage. So Scott was yelling to me to get the bear moved and, yelling at the airport workers. So I go running over there and I'm yelling, over the sound of the plane, move this bear, move this bear. And as he jumps off his cart to kind of figure out how to, where to put him, I just wasn't paying attention. I put my hand up on the transfer cage and I wasn't paying attention. And my fingers kind of poked through the grating, the bars on the cage. And just like that. And it was in a panic. Bogey latched onto one of my fingers, with his mouth. Oh my God. And I'm yelling and I'm kicking the cage and I'm yelling for Scott. Bogey's got a hold of me. Bogey's got a hold of me. He won't let go. He finally ended up doing, letting go on his own. Tore my finger up pretty good. so that was like the main, drama, and it was a lot going on. So we finally got all the animals up into the plane, got the door closed, things calmed down. You have to understand something. These animals, I would say my wolf dogs were the least social. All the rest of these animals had been very well socialized. So it wasn't like we were taking an animal, out of the jungle and then all of a sudden putting them on a plane. They were very well socialized. These animals had been on movie sets, had been on every kind of situation you could think of, but nothing prepares you for this. Even for us humans, it was stressful. And, it was supposed to go a lot smoother, but you got to expect the unexpected. We couldn't control the crowds. We didn't expect to have to be crowd control while we were also trying to take care of our animals. And that being said, although we had a lot of people there to help, what I forgot to tell you is that traveling with all of these animals would just be myself, Scott, the bear handler, and Chad, who was in charge of all the monkeys. Just the three of us. And I don't even know how that happened, how we got nominated to travel with them, but we would be the ones going across the world with these animals, and the rest of the trainers would be meeting us in Sri Lanka. Okay, well, like I said, the stories are about to get really, really good. And on the next episode of Wild Instincts, you're going to get to hear what went on during our flight. Because leaving LAX, we were not going to fly straight to Sri Lanka. We had a layover in Amsterdam. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just thinking back to the stuff that happened, reminiscing. Okay. Well, I will see you next. What, like 20,000 feet up in the air or whatever it is? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, you know what they say. Always stick to your gut and follow your instincts. See you on the next one.